Lord, application for anticipatory bail. At the foremost, I humbly seek to withdraw the application on behalf of petitioner number 2.
All right.
He has been arrested, my lord.
All right.
The FIR has been instituted amongst other, my lord, section 328, 302 and 120B of IPC. The informant at page 11, my lord. A written application where she states that she was at her paternal place.
Read the FIR, Mr. Prashant Kumar.
Page 11, my lord.
Page
11.
पढ़िए.
निवेदन पूर्वक कहना है कि मैं प्रतिमा देवी उम्र सो एंड सो बसंतपुर थाना जिला सिवान का निवासी हूँ. दिनांक 1/7/20 को मैं अपने पति के राय से अपने मायके गई थी. दिनांक 3/4/2020 को सूचना मिली कि आप अपने मायके से जल्दी चले आइए, आपके पति की हालत ख़राब है. तब मैं अपने माँ के साथ सिवान हॉस्पिटल गई तो देखी कि मेरा पति सरकारी अस्पताल में बेड पर लेटे हुए हैं. तो मैं अपने पति से तबीयत खराब होने के विषय में पूछने लगी तो मेरा पति होश हवास में बोले कि मैं कल ठीका लेने के लिए सुभाष सिंह के दरवाजा पर हम और बाबूलाल महतो इज द पिटिशनर मिलॉर्ड नंबर 1 गए थे. सुभाष सिंह का मुर्गी फार्म बनाने के लिए का ठीका 30,000 रुपये में लिया गया और बैनर के रूप में 10,000 रुपये दिए. जो रुपया में से 5,000 रुपये बाबूलाल महतो ले लिए. दिनांक 3/7/20 को सुबह में बाबूलाल महतो मुझे फ़ोन करके मुझे बुलाया और अपने दरवाज़ा पर बैठा लिया तथा हमसे पैसा मांगने लगा. तब मैं बोला कि कल जो पैसा मिला है वो पैसा मेरे पास है. तब तक सुभाष सिंह एंड वकील महतो पिटिशन नंबर 2 आ गए. तीनों व्यक्ति बोलने लगे कि तुम सोने का सिकड़ी गर्दन में है. हम तीनों आदमी बोलने लगे कि तुम सोने का सिकड़ी गर्दन में है, हम तीनों आदमी साले को मार देते हैं. मुझे लगा कि तीनों व्यक्ति मुझसे मजाक कर रहा है. तब तक लाल बाबू महतो वकील महतो मुझे गाली देते हुए पकड़ लिए तथा सुभाष महतो ने मारपीट कर मेरा रुपया एवं सोने का सिकड़ी ले लिया. तब मुझे अंदर चोट लगने से मैं बेहोश हो गया. तब मुझे पता नहीं चला कि मैं कहाँ हूँ. इतना बात कहे कि मेरा पति फिर मेरे पति का स्थिति खराब होने लगा. मेरे पति का मृत्यु सदर अस्पताल सिवान में ही हो गया. तब मैं अपना पति का लाश लेकर घर आ गई तथा पति का कहाँ हुआ बात रोते हुए बताई. तब बसंतपुर थाना पुलिस मेरे पति को लाश को लेकर पोस्टमार्टम सिवान भेज दिया. तो मैं थाना आकर अपने माँ के सामने आवेदन दे रही. She has, my lord, she does not appear to be an eyewitness also, my lord, because
no, that is not the ground. You don't need an eyewitness for institution of a case. There are other grounds you can address on that.
My lord, the postmortem report has been annexed. My lord, postmortem report has been annexed.
Just a minute, let us see what the court has said. मृत्यु समीक्षा रिपोर्ट मृत्यु के कारण नशा खिलाकर बताया गया, but that's not there.
He was found in, my lord.
Let us see the inquest. After the postmortem, inquest may not be necessary, but for the purposes of grant of anticipatory bail, we can look into it. Now let us see the inquest. Where was he found? Who took him to the hospital? Was he intoxicated? Now these are the aspects. You may not have killed him in the manner in which it has been reported by the deceased to his wife. You may not have strangulated him, but the fact remains that you were all along with the deceased when he became unconscious and he had to be hospitalized. He tells his wife shortly before his death that you had tried to strangulate him or kill him by whatever. Now what is there in the investigation reports?
My lord, in the inquest report, it also has come.
Have you brought on record the inquest?
My lord, certainly not, my lord. It is a part of case diary, my lord.
Yeah, that's right.
My lord, I have annexed the postmortem report. There is not a single injury.
No physical
and my lord, the time of death also in the postmortem report has been stated to be 4 to 10.
When did he die?
Case diary may be called for.
When did he die?
My lord, on the postmortem report has been prepared on 4th of July 2020.
That is not the correct indicator of the time of death.
And my lord, the time elapsed since death in the postmortem report has been stated.
That death otherwise can be discernible without referring to that. हम अभी अपील थोड़ी सुन रहे हैं आपकी. When did he die?
On 3rd of July 2020.
That's right. And on 3rd, the wife lodges the FIR on 3rd. No.
On
When-
third evening, my lord, my lord, the inquest report precedes the institution of FIR.
देखिए, heard
She even
Mr.
states, my lord, just
All right, heard Mr. Prashant Kumar, learned advocate for the petitioner. For the petitioners and Ms. Sucheta Yadav for the state. The application with respect to petitioner number 2 is withdrawn as he has been arrested during the pendency of the application. Stop. The petitioner number 1 seeks bail in anticipation of his arrest in connection with so-and-so. Stop. The wife of the deceased has alleged in the first information report that when she came back from her mother's house on the information that her husband is seriously ill, she went to the hospital where her husband, bracket deceased, disclosed before her that he was assaulted by the petitioner number 1 and others, and his gold chain was attempted to be taken away. In the process, the deceased became unconscious and thereafter had to be hospitalized. Land Council for the petitioner has submitted, petitioner number 1 has submitted that an absolutely false case has been lodged by the wife of the deceased. No such occurrence as stated in the first information report has ever taken place. The post-mortem report indicates that there was no external or internal injury on the person of the deceased. The viscera has been preserved. It appears from the post-mortem report that the deceased has died a natural death. It appears from the post-mortem report, the learned counsel for the petitioner has argued that it is a natural death. There may have been some business dispute between the petitioner number 1 and the deceased, but so far as killing the deceased is, so far as the act of killing the deceased is concerned, except for the statement of the wife of the deceased, there is no other material to bring home the charges of murder against the petitioner. On the other hand, learned counsel for the state has drawn the attention of this court to the impugn order, where several paragraphs of the case diary have been referred to. In fact, the local persons have testified to the fact that in the state of stupor / intoxication, the deceased had been taking the name of the petitioner and others. Under what circumstances the deceased was found unconscious and who took him to hospital would be relevant indicators for finding out the truth in the matter. Call for the case diary and list this case on receipt of the same on first week of February career.
8 of February.
Since there is no external or internal injury on the person of the deceased,